Book of G to me is really the opportunity for me to finally be able to speak for myself and so many others who were tired of hearing other people speak for us that didn't necessarily represent our point of view, our perspective, our ideals, our lifestyle, or our realities. The Book of G allows perspective from a black man who was raised as a black man, who lived the life and has the experiences of a black man, and can genuinely speak about being a black man. Instead of some of the people that we see today, some of them on CNN, some of them on, different news networks that, grew up in neighborhoods that we didn't have the liberty to grow up in. So they don't necessarily have the understanding of what our life is like and why we think the way that we do. So the Book of G to me is finally a voice, a real voice. Yeah, that's the good one. My solution for blacks in America starts with something that I feel like we've really lost, and that's respect and empathy for each other. I think through respect and empathy, then we can build numbers. Through numbers, we can now control the narrative. Whether it be political, whether it be financial, whether it be through the educational system, whether it be recreating our neighborhoods, regardless of what it is, numbers change the narrative because that's the only thing people respect. Nobody respected the slaves in Haiti until they all grabbed hatchets and machetes and drove all the slave owners off the island. It was the numbers that changed everything. And most of the time when we vote, it's like, 18%, 20%. If we're lucky, we get 30%, but that means there's still 70% at home that are not participating. Whether, like I said, whether it be in the election or financial. Can you imagine what it would be like if all black people at the same time got on the same page and decided to do the same thing to protect each other? Imagine what different America, black America, would actually be. I ultimately hope to get black people to be able to hear perspectives that they don't have the ability to hear anymore. We used to have communities. Black people, if you wanted to know something, where'd you go? You went to grandma's house, or you went to uncle such and such's house, or you went to auntie such and such's house, right? And they would give you perspective that would allow you to think and prepare you to make decisions moving forward. My goal for this show is I want it to be the little person that sits on your shoulder that reminds you of certain things that you need to think about before you make decisions, because that's ultimately what I want black people to be. I want them to be informed. I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything that I said, because everything that I said was genuinely coming from my perspective. It was genuinely coming from my life experiences, and it was genuinely coming from, my ability to break down information. Here's something that I want people to really understand. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean that, one of us is right or wrong. We don't have to accept the way America has provided life for us. There's always a choice. You're either a Democrat or a Republican. You take the red pill or the blue pill. You either, vote or not vote. What I'm saying is I don't accept the choices. So I don't regret anything that I've said because it's coming from my perspective. And if you don't agree with it, that's great, because that gives us a chance to talk about it, and maybe together we can develop a new perspective. So no, I wouldn't change a thing. Driven. That's the one thing that I can honestly say was the best gift I ever got from my parents, was what they didn't give me naturally with drive, they gave me teaching me to be driven. I have always gone 110 miles per hour after whatever it is that I've ever wanted. And so that's what I'm always going to continue to do. One speed G, that's me. I would probably say when I was younger, I had a real problem with anger, and I didn't care about actually anybody or myself. But trying to actually honor my family name kind of drove me to actually going to get help. That's something traditionally that Black people don't do. They don't, we don't traditionally believe in counseling. I went to a counselor, and it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because what I realized is my anger came from pain, and pain is worse than prison. I was shackled for a long time, and because, with the help of my counselor, I was able to actually get a lot of things off of me that allowed me to finally feel free. So, for a lot of you out there, if you got something going on with you and you have the opportunity to go get help, please get help. There's strength in asking for help. We don't believe that. We believe that, that you're weak when you ask for help, but there's actually strength in asking for help, because everybody has gone through counseling. People don't believe me when I tell them this, but every person has gone through counseling. How do I prove this to you? When you have a bad day at work, or you have something going wrong with your friends, or something goes bad with your boyfriend or girlfriend, what do? You call your friend, you call your mom, you call somebody you trust, you tell them what happened, you wait for feedback, and then you follow the feedback. That's counseling. And if you're going to do it with a professional.